there is a potential nightmare unfolding because of those darn bus drivers and their consistent complaint that the open air drug use that is being tolerated by King County, their employer, is a risk to their health. And without any data whatsoever, King County Public Health played along and said, well, there's no evidence of that, or, likelihood you can't get secondhand fentanyl. Except the one flaw in King County's little argument in service of not getting sued, not getting the pantaloons sued off them, is that the drivers are saying, this is not secondhand. We're inhaling the same stuff they're inhaling directly from the burning fentanyl. And, oh, look at that. Along comes the UW with a air pump device to actually finally, conclusively test the air. And drivers have consistently, one guy's come out to Channel 4 with his face unpixelated and his voice unaltered. And he said, this is a state health and welfare L&I claim is what this is. This is an unhealthy workplace because you're tolerating these guys passed out. And after smoking the fentanyl on the train or on the bus or whatever, and King County is looking at this and they're in complete damage control mode because they know this is a monster lawsuit. If any long-term or short-term, any health effects whatsoever are documented in the drivers, they're going to be documented in hundreds of riders. And what's worse is that their vaunted social experiment called mass transit in the Puget Sound area would be done. It would be over. What fool would, as long as those people are smoking on the trains or the buses, who would let their kids go on there? Who would let their mom go on there? Who would let Grandpa Joe go on? You would not see anybody on the shooting gallery Route 70 here. And by the way, when I get here, that one that stops right there in front of the Radio Ranch at 4:30 every morning, there's never anyone on it. And I thought they didn't run from like 1 a.m. to 5 or something. Unless it's a human right to pass out on a bus or something like that. Well, anyway, Q13 did a story on this last night. And, I got to say, if you're a bus or train operator and you say, I'm not holding back, but then you insist that your face is pixelated out and your voice is altered, you're holding something back. And you know why? Because you're feared of retaliation by, the most diverse, equitable, and inclusive county government in the state of Washington. So what does that say? This mob culture that's coming out of King County, but hey, nice bus driving job you have there. Shame if anything happened to it. So good environment there.
Jamie, that is something that they've been asking for and pleading for over the years, especially as we saw the pandemic. Those numbers spiked with people reporting drug use on trains and buses alone. Now, some operators say that they've had to take time off to recover from inhaling smoke or some sort of chemical or drug.
Oh, I'm sure it's just in your head.
Use. Now, the one I spoke with tonight tells me he even had to call off in the middle of his shift because he felt that bad. Now, while he says this study is a step in the right direction, it's just that, a step. He says more needs to be done, starting with accountability.
A free-for-all as bodies are seen slumped on the light rail.
So they're showing video, or she's showing B-roll video of passed out people on a light rail train down at the Chinatown station. The one where that guy threw that woman down the stairs and then finished his night by stabbing somebody and killing him. And now we're paying him whatever retroactive $200 a day because he couldn't get into a mental hospital. Anyway, I'm pretty sure he can't count. So.
Dizzy, fuzzy feeling. And I had the windows both open. And
instead of subjecting you to that guy's
that doesn't sound
altered voice,
to me.
And it sounds like the loop train at SeaTac. Got me up on.
Sounds like the teacher in Peanuts.
Concourse B. So what he's saying, by the way, is there's a weird smell, and if you ever lose a bet and have to take a King County Metro bus to pay the bet off, if you smell
forbidden essences.
If you smell a forbidden burnt peanut butter essence, that's what it is. It's weird. It's like if you dropped a Reese's peanut butter cup in a toaster. Yeah, like that. Okay,
We are still smelling a lot of drugs in the air.
No one's ever dropped a peanut butter cup in a toaster, but if you can imagine burning a slight peanut butter and chard smell, that's what fentanyl smoke smells like. And so if you're smelling it, well, guess what? That's fentanyl. That's how they inhale it.
I thought you were going to say you dealt it.
Yeah, you exactly. So why does a dog? Okay. And so anyway, along comes UW with a Fenty sniffer.
Riders, 493 in 2021. Those numbers spiking to more than 1,600 in 2022.
I would bet my life on those numbers being super low still, because
I am a protocol droid.
There's a lot that goes unreported.
Union leaders with ATU 587 representing drivers reached out to transit officials. Together with UW researchers, they're trying to do something about it.
This is a pump that pulls air.
Oh, wait. That's a RoboCop filter. That's what that is. Citizen.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Through this filter.
Riders, 493 in 2021. Those numbers spiking to more than 1,600 in 2022.
I would bet my life on those numbers being...
Drop the weapon, citizen. Get back in 5, 4, 3. Anyway, this is a pump.
With ATU 587 representing drivers reached out to transit officials. Together with UW researchers, they're trying to do something about it.
This is a pump that pulls air through this filter device, and this catches anything that's found in the air.
Accountability and science from the UW. I mean, I ask you, how can there not be a secondary effect? You're not the primary inhaler, but you're inhaling primarily. You're not they're sniffing their exhales. You're inhaling what they're smoking from there. That's the flaw in King County's defense in this. That there's no documentation about secondhand exposure. Well, never mind secondhand. How about primary? And look, along comes the UW with here's a pump. It's a pump, and it pumps air and it detects what's in the air. So if you can smell it, you're inhaling fentanyl. And so they know two things. They know that would be a monster lawsuit and they would lose it. And then number two, they know it would be the death of Sound Transit. That would be it. Why would you ever, for convenience or whatever, why would you ever get on a bus or a train again? If it's proven that, and by the way, like I say, look, I'm just telling you, those green scooters, let the tourists grab those, unless it's our kids and intervene. But don't ever get in Seattle. Don't grab one of those bikes. Don't grab one of those scooters with your bare hand. If you have gloves, feel free. Yay, it must be fun. But don't grab them with your skin because you should see what they're doing to them at 4 a.m. And you should see who's doing that to them at 4 a.m. So anyway, good for them. Yes, we will shine a bright light on this study. That'll be interesting. But I mean, you can't have these guys coming out, with their jobs on the line and the feeling that they're going to be retaliated against for saying King County has set up a unsafe work condition and they've exposed the public to it, without there being something to it. That's where there's smoke, there's fire is what I say. And you know what? Maybe it's in their head. Maybe the effect is in their head. Maybe it's like burn pits, or whatever. But sorry, I just think that there's too many common complaints from these guys.
I wouldn't be surprised if more public transit workers came forward to issue their concerns over this very topic. And if they did, we could easily just take the text of what they say and do some AI robotronic voice generator for it.
There are lots and lots of forbidden essences on the bus. Oh boy. Not fun. I am glad the UW is doing a study on this. I don't like smelling the drugs on the public transit. It's really a shame. That. And the duty.